We've been talking about InsurLink a whole heck of a lot. So Stephanie and I are going to do a live demo for everybody so you guys can see how you as a Iscential employee can send the InsurLink link to a client, manage their account, and then we're going to show you what the customer side looks like. And we would encourage everybody after today to go play with this themselves. If you're not a customer of Iscential, you can make a prospect account for yourself and even do this to your prospect account so you can go practice and then see what it looks like from a client's perspective so you can play there too, so you're familiar and can help guide a client through this process. So
as a salesperson, you need to move this to the front of your process and start communicating through the InsurLink portal so your documents are secure. Your clients' documents are out in ether. They're texting you or emailing you social security numbers and all kinds of stuff. You don't do that anymore with your doctor. When the technology first started, you used to email your doctor your information, and then your doctor got hacked, and then he said, yeah, I need to set up a secure portal for you to use. That's what this is. It's a way for you now. Hey, the customer wants to send you their deck pages, send them the portal link and make them start communicating through the portal link up front. And if they tell you no, say no problem. I know our side is secure. I can't speak for your side. Right? So that way if their stuff gets hacked, it's their fault, not your fault, because they chose not to use a secure portal. Yeah. I highly recommend, Mr. Customer, Mrs. Customer, that you use the portal to transmit your data. That's why we use DocuSign to have them sign the documents, because it's a secure encrypted technology that they can't read what's on the application. All right, go ahead. Are we doing it now or what? What's the deal?
All right. Yep. Stephanie's going to share first to show the Iscential side, and then I'll take over to show the client side.
Okay. I'm waiting. I don't see it on this TV over there. Can you online see?
How do I put it on the TV? Can you guys online see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can see John Doe testing too.
Yes.
John Doe testing too. Okay, awesome. So just to remind you, can create InsurLink on a customer or a prospect. They don't actually have to have policies. So when you are on their policy screen, you are going to go down to actions right here.
Can you do this from platform?
No, you cannot.
Okay. All right.
So InsurLink is under the new actions. So we're going to go into InsurLink. Once you're in here, you will see all contacts on the account and their email addresses. So you may have the insured, you may have their spouse, an assistant, whoever's accessing the account. As you can see, both of these individuals have not been invited. So we're going to invite John Doe. Over here, very important, permissions. We have these defaulted, but what you want to pay attention to is this a commercial account or a personal lines account. This client actually has personal lines and commercial because they have a workers' compensation. So I'm going to go down here to my views and give them access to certificates. You will not give access to billing. We also do not give access to the description of operations or the additional remarks.
Is that's going to amend their certificates of insurance?
Correct.
We don't want to do that.
Correct. So once we've selected that, we'll go over to agency contacts up here. You will go here to display the customer representative that's listed on the account. It's going to be personal or commercial. You need to check both this box and this show to insured box right here. As for the producer, you're going to give access to see their producer. You can see there's two authorizations, one to show the office number, and if you want to provide your mobile number, you can do that as well. Ashley just so happens to have hers there. Document management, we're not going to upload anything right now, but this is where you would create folders for their policies and upload documents for them. Template and content, you're just going to go right here to this template and select whether it's a commercial or a personal lines customer. We are working on a benefits template right now. So I'm going to default as personal lines because that's the majority of this account and select publish. I'm now going to go back to my client users because I've set up their account with all of the permissions and views that I want them to have, so it's good to go. I'm going to select my John Doe and click Send Custom Invitation. It's going to open my email that's already been created and crafted. It also links this short little YouTube video that we have about using the portal. And this is the link where the client will activate their account. I usually highlight this section in red that they do need to sign in within 15 days. At this point, you could copy yourself or someone else.
Stephanie, looking at that, can you add some verbiage to the top to that about the security?
The security.
Yeah, that it's
Okay.
encrypted, and that's why we prefer that you communicate with us over this platform, something like that.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I'm going to click send. And once I do that, you will see that the status has changed from not invited to invited. This history tab will also show all history. So it will show that I created the content and sent out the invitation. So I'm going to end my share and let Ashley show you on the customer side what that looks like.
All right, so this is what the email to the client looks like whenever they come in. So it does come from your email address, which is nice. So it actually looks like it comes from you. So it's not, a spam looking email. So it's saying, invite you to access our portal. There's a how-to video link. And then there's the link to go in and activate your portal. So we'll go ahead and click in and activate the portal. All right, so passwords do have to be, they've got all the requirements over here, but 8 to 20, and then you've got to have an uppercase letter, a lowercase letter, a number, and a special character. So. Try that. All right, so whenever they log in for the first time, there's going to be a terms of use page they have to go through. They'll just press accept. All right, so here's what the portal looks like from a client's perspective. There is a button, I think, that whenever you're in the Iscential side, you can click and view as user. You can see what they see. So great tool if they're calling you going, hey, where the heck do I click? Right? What do I do to find things? You can go view as user and click through with them if you've got someone who needs help walking through. But otherwise, they've got kind of the quick links right here. Talk through their permissions. Some of the big ones are going to be like if we, in this case, we put a fake auto policy on here. So it would make sense to have the ability to add a driver, remove a driver, get my auto ID card. If you have a client who doesn't have an auto policy, right, on that account, you might want to take those permissions away so they're not confused going, hey, wait a minute, why do I have the ability to add a driver? I don't have an auto policy. So just be cognizant of that. But the big things that are pretty easy, right? They can go in and just click the links. You pick the policy that you want. It pulls based on what's in the account. So it's not letting me add a driver to my renter's policy, right? So it's going to be a little dummy proof for the client, right? You'll press next, and then you fill in the details that it requires and just press submit. So really easy for a client to go make some base changes or requests.
So back to being secure, instead of you emailing your 15-year-old kid's driver's license number, date of birth, and name and everything, they're doing it through the portal.
Yep. So great opportunity when you've got a client who says, hey, I need to add somebody or take them off. Hey, let's spend 5 minutes. Did you set up your InsurLink portal? Let me walk you through how easy this is. And it's all secure. You don't have to send me this detail over an email, and you can do it from an app on your phone. And we're going to show you guys the app in a second too.
The other thing is if you don't want to fill this out, you could just attach the document to you can take a picture of the driver's license that your kid just got and attach it to the file.
So the other big one they can do on the main page, besides changing drivers and adding or removing vehicles, is this request a new certificate. So if you have a client who's got certs and they're going to need to add holders. So here's the caveat with this. To be able to do this, and Monty, please chime in because this is what kind of one of the topics you brought up in our meeting. The master certificate needs to already be created in AMS for it to be able to be utilized in here when a client goes to add a cert holder. So if you know you have a client who's going to need certs, especially pretty quickly post bind, please send an email to service and ask them to go create the master cert. So it's in AMS and we're ready. I'm going to put a heavy pause. That was what I did not just say was every time you bind a commercial policy, go tell service to generate the master certs, right? That's generating a bunch of extra work that we're not doing now. So if you have a client that you know is going to need certs, please tell them to go ahead and generate the masters so they're available in InsurLink. In this case, this was a personal lines client that had a workers' comp policy because they have cleaning staff coming to their house. So they really don't need certs, but in this case, for the sake of the demo, we added it so you guys can see it, right? So all they have to do is press new certificate. If they see this field with the reason requested and required coverages and additional comments for your agent, this is actually having to generate the master cert. This is kind of your cue as an agent that, hey, that master has not been generated in the background yet. If they go click on this and all they see is this holder detail, that means the master's there. All I have to do is go just add what you get and it'll issue the cert right there with the new holder. Okay. So, and I'll show you guys, I have my personal account logged in on my cell phone. So I'll show you what that cert looks like and how easy it is. Cool. Questions on the certificate request?
When a client sends these requests either for that or like add a driver, does it go straight to the service team and CC the person?
Goes to support team,
Okay.
Goes to the queue.
goes to the queue. Yep.
So a couple of other things, they'll be able to see recent documents down here. If you've added something recently, they can also come over here and click into their documents. Again, this account doesn't have any. I'll show you what it looks like on the cell phone when they have them. It's really easy once you're in here. So a client can upload documents, right? So if you're saying, hey, let's transfer information over the secure portal, go click on the documents link on the left-hand side of the screen and just drag and drop everything I'm asking for. Current deck pages, a census, whatever it is. You can also see your claims history and anything that's in process. You can start a new claim, right? It'll kind of generate the email to us to give them a call. And then you can also go pull auto ID cards. So you can go hit actions, and this is what it looks like on the documents as well as view, download, or email. So a client can do whatever they need to do with those documents. So great if you've got a client who's always calling you saying, where's my auto ID card? I got pulled over. Where's my auto ID card? I got to go do something. Great one to maybe say, hey, let's get you on the app and I'll show you how to do it from the app. So you don't have to have the paper copy if they can't, for some reason, fathom the idea of printing it and putting it in their glove box, but you never know. And then you can also see all of the live policies on their account, right? So you can see the policy number, who it's with, and a summary page of the policy. So a client can go get a lot of details in here from this account. One other thing that's really nice if you have clients with multiple accounts. So if you have someone, you've got their personal lines under one account, one entity, and then a second entity, right? Maybe you got their personal lines, they own a building, and then another entity occupies the building. If you hover over their name and there's a little drop down, it'll open up any of the accounts they have access to that are affiliated with this email address. All right, so I'll show you guys again what that looks like on my account on the cell phone. So you can see kind of the new, what that looks like when you do have access to multiple. So any questions while that's weirdly loading? Questions about the web view before we've switched to the app view?
How are we notified when somebody uploads a document?
We get the support team also gets a notification. So anytime the insured sends information to us, we get a notification.
Right. So what Drew's asking is if he has a prospect and he sets it up for the prospect so that they're loading new documents for a new client so he can quote their stuff. What's going to happen? Where does the material go so he knows it's there?
Yeah, if the client uploads documents, it's in their InsurLink. It's not in AMS. You just have to go to the document management section of their InsurLink. We'd have to kind of configure with the agent, hey, I'm waiting for this, because we do get notified of that. And so if we saw a follow-up, I'm waiting for the customer to send me proof of discount, and we get that in, we could get that over to you or let you know it's in there.
In that case, they can assign it that you're waiting on the alarm certificate, and then the processor could just end the tag. Put it in the file and end the task, right? Or send it to the carrier when you're supposed to happen. Yeah, that's much more efficient use of the time versus the agent being back involved with that. But on a new customer, is there a way to send those, can you have the agent copied on that so that they know that those documents came in? Or does it always go to personal line CSR or the support team?
It goes to one place for the agency. So it either goes to the support queue, which is in AMS, or it's sent by email. But if it were email, it would be email on all of them. And then we'd have to put it into the system.
Shouldn't we be able to see it on the InsurLink for that
Yes.
client? If we went and, so if you're expecting something, Drew, you put a prospect in, they're going to send you a bunch of stuff. Before you get you're waiting for service to notify you that we saw it was uploaded, you could go click on the client, open the InsurLink portal, and look in the documents section.
You can also add yourself as a user when you set up their InsurLink. And that way, from the app on your phone, if you're waiting for a document, you can just hit your InsurLink app, go to that account and see if it's been uploaded.
So this is what it looks like when you're in the app. So it kind of gives you the basic info, right? So you can see the agency info, you can see documents. Again, you see that little download button next to them. You can go download anything. You can see recent policies. You can go click on the all policies and you can see everything that's affiliated with that account. Click back on the home page. Then at the very bottom, that's also where you can see certificates. So in this case, we made a fake certificate with me as the secondary holder. So they can click on the cert. They can view the master, but then, so that's that for information only cert at the bottom. The one below, that's my name as the holder. So they forget, they need it, they're out and about, they need it for a client, for a contract, whatever. They can just go hit the download button and it'll download to their phone. And they can send it from there. So same thing, you can see the policy view. Now here's where they would toggle. If you hit that more button over to the far right, if I hit my name, these are the accounts I have access to. So I can switch between the two. So to Monty's point, if you're adding yourself as the agent, this is where you'd go pick. But for a client that's got multiple accounts here, so they can go toggle between them, the only key is they have to be affiliated with the same email address. So if they've got a personal email versus a work email, they just need to pick one and make that their primary for all InsurLink, and we'll just route all InsurLink documents that way. So any questions? The app is pretty dang intuitive. There's not a lot a client can break in here. So please encourage them to download it, go play with it. It's literally just called InsurLink whenever you go into the App Store.
For the people that need their auto ID card, and I have one customer who does this to me every time she gets her car inspected. Is this automatically in the InsurLink? Does it automatically populate with the most recent auto ID card, or that customer still needs to make a request for it in InsurLink and wait up to 24 hours to receive it?
It is, the auto ID card is created from the policy information that's in AMS. So when the change downloads or our team endorses the policy, it's there.
But like if she's at a service station getting her car inspected and she needs the ID card now, what I've had her do in the past, if she calls me and I'm in my car, is I have her call the agency and say, ask someone in service, they can get it for you right away. But if she has InsurLink, would she be able to access it in seconds?
Right then, yes.
Okay, that's what I was curious about. Thank you.
It's there.
So I don't have an auto on my personal policy, but if I sign into the fake account.
Kayla, just to, you understand, it's automatically there as long as the endorsement's been processed. Right, so if
right
they just
here,
added the car yesterday and it hasn't been processed by the carrier, it's not going to be there.
Correct. So this
We
is
can
because,
still- we can still get it manually at that point.
Car.
yeah, I stole your auto ID. Sorry. So here's the basic information. You can press view official card. There it is. And then down here, you can hit this export button and you can send it to somebody. You can email it. You can download it and save it to your files. And you can also press this offline auto ID so they can have it available even if they don't have cell service. So if you have a client that does this, this is a great way to get them to go in and build everything. And they can also hit that share button and send it to somebody. Any other questions?
I have a question. So for our clients that have multiple accounts, are they able to message the service team or the support team directly from the portal that they don't see their other accounts rather than emailing me and us doing it the old manual way?
They can click more, that menu button, and click on team and send an email.
So that's within the app?
Yes, within the app.
What about the website? I imagine.
Same.
quite a few-
Click on
Yep.
more, Ashley, and show them.
I'm in more.
My team. I don't see email. I just see
Yeah.
phone number.
This is the only stuff that's available. But if they request anything on a certain policy, it's going to be linked to, see if they push this new request, it's affiliated with that policy.
Go to home,
So,
go to my team. And can't you email from there? Okay.
yeah,
Okay, second question is, last week when this happened with a client, I got a response from the support person that some type of document was not manual or was not automatically uploaded. So what will show up, what won't show up? Is it based on what we get downloads from the?
No, it's based on that list that you checked on the other side. Those, the standard documents are there. You set that up, what they have access to. That was, go back to the other page. Stephanie, can you show them again where the documents are at? You're telling the system what to give the customer.
Yeah, but they will never get access to documents unless you manually upload them.
Correct. Yeah,
they see the policy information that's in AMS. So if it's a non-downloadable carrier, they're only going to see what you put in there, right? So if you didn't put in any details on that E&S general lines policy, you're not going to see anything. They're just going to see your exec code and, right, just like when you guys click on the policy details on an E&S policy and there's no other info, that's the same thing the client will see.
I think-
Can you go back to the InsurLink setup page?
Yeah. I think
go to
what
the
you're
download
asking
tab.
about are the actual policies. If it's a carrier that we have to deliver the policies for, they don't deliver them to the insured, we upload them to InsurLink. If it is a direct bill, if it's nationwide, we're not uploading those policies per se to their InsurLink, but they can view their deck page view summary.
So see the tab that says document management? If you go there, you can upload whatever documents that you want them to have access to.
What we're telling you is that when service or support gets a deck page for a non-uploadable carrier, they're putting it in there. But we don't do that for downloadable carriers because the
Right.
downloadable carriers is backfilling the information in the system for the insurance summary. We don't upload documents from direct bill carriers because they download into the system. They can go over to the part that Ashley just showed you on the app. They can see the insurance summary on that. If they want their deck page, they're going to have to go to the portal or request it from service to get the copy of the deck page. We would have to go into every direct bill carrier and pull those. It'd be so time consuming
Yep.
for the one or two people who want their deck page.
Which is what we used to do, and it was terribly time
Right.
consuming.
It's exactly what
But-
it's saying, Christy, is exactly what we've just been telling you all. It
And Christy,
says-
if you have a client who wants access to their deck pages, right, or full policy documents through here, as opposed to you sending an email with, here's your deck page, here's your policy document, Mr. Customer, you can go into document management and just drag and drop all of them in there. They're in there forever. So they can go easily pull them if you have a client who you know is going to want access to all of those documents
They're
in
in
a
there
single
for
place
that.
without having to go dig through an email. But
They're in there for that policy term.
Right, make sure you label, when you put a document in there, if it's a 23-24 personal auto, make sure you label it 23-24 personal auto. Because next year, when you put the 24-25 personal auto, you'll want them to be able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
I personally leverage InsurLink for servicing and quick access. I leverage my Nationwide app to see my deck page, my contract, because they put that in the Nationwide app. So I would say leverage your self-service opportunities.
And if they're a personal lines carrier with one company and they've been there for 30 years, they should do all their transaction through that carrier's portal app. I've been saying that to you all for years. The question is to you, you know, in general terms, this tool is there if you're split across multiple carriers. It's better to use this than having the multiple carriers. But if you've been with Nationwide for 25 years, download Nationwide's app. You can request you can add a driver. You can do all the things we're talking about on the Nationwide app, on the Travelers app, on the Progressive app. You don't have to do it through our portal. This is really pushed to communicate documents in the beginning. And if you split accounts in Harris County, most of the accounts are split because you can't write the vehicles with the same carrier you write the house with. Commercial lines, there is no portal from the carrier. Shall we figure out how to make requests?
I probably already knows. But if you go to policies and you click the policy, you can submit a new request.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But it's
And then-
affiliated with the policy. There was a question if we could do like a general email.
If you go on from home to view agency under my team. No, home, or scroll down.
You have view agency.
Yeah, it should be view agency. Why does it take you?
And this is the
Weird.
test. This is the test
Yeah.
account. So it
Oh, scroll down. Oh, you don't have, there it
There
is.
we
Yeah,
go.
there it is.
And that's where you can even.
email
They
them
could
right
press
there.
an
I knew-
email to CSR and look at that in their email that pops up on their phone, their preferred email.
That's going to go to service.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And service will either you need to respond to it, they'll forward it to you. If you don't, they'll.
And now
process
let's
it.
see, if they can do the same thing. It comes to my email.
Oh, there you go. So that's if they send it to you. Perfect. Great. Thank you.